Hello.
Bonjour, Monsieur Rafa.
Hey, Emmanuel. How you doing, my friend?
I'm fine. Exhausted and tired, but I'm fine. I'm good.
What's the first adjective you used?
Exhausted.
Ah, exhausted. Oh, you've been studying a lot?
Ah, a lot. I kind of have some midterm exams, and I'm working on two projects. We're having two presentations, one on Tuesday, one on Monday. So for the past 2 nights, I've slept less than 3 hours.
The life of a student.
Yeah.
All right. So let's have a relaxed session. So we can do half an hour, like we promised, because past two times we did an hour almost. Yeah. So what did we suggest we were going to look at today? And what did you look at? You know, what piqued your interest? Maybe we can look at it together in a chillax way.
Maybe chillax. Wow, that sounds so Nigerian.
Right.
I looked at the link you sent on Tasha's destroying the diamond she got and transferring the asset value of the diamond to non-fungible tokens, NFTs, and
Right.
more like having a digital version of the diamond online, just without the physical value of it, the aesthetics of it, but the store of value part of it. Then yield farming as well. Yeah, I kind of
Uh-huh.
looked at a bit on yield farming, though I wasn't able to finish the video because I was trying to go on 1 hour rehearsal, will I say, go over everything again before the session today. Then I realized it's daylight time was last night and it's 1 hour backwards. So it's,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. What time is it in France right now?
it's 3:36. Yeah. As of last
Ah,
week, it was 4:36. So I'm like 1 hour short on time.
oh, okay. So you should be sleeping right now or having a nap or something instead.
Yeah, I had just jumped out of bed and sat here.
All right. So okay, let's do this. So I think you looked at Tasha's article about her destroyed diamond NFT experience.
Yeah.
And then you looked at a video about yield farming.
Yeah.
And then also maybe we can have a look at we can just talk about the self-paying loan that you created on Arcadico last week, and see how this is going, just to follow up with that. And then we can discuss about NFTs, and we can do yield farming at the same time really quickly, not in details, because there's this video that explains it really well. And then we can look at NFT, what makes it a good asset class for store value according to Tasha. And since we have 30 minutes, let's just dig in. So let's have, maybe you can share your screen and we can look at what's going on with the vault that you created on Arcadico. And maybe can we briefly explain how this loan is a self-paying loan? Or maybe I can do that. So basically what you did is you opened a vault, which is posting a guarantee, a collateral, a guarantee for a loan. And it's an over collateralized loan, meaning that the guarantee is 4 times the value, is greater in value than the loan that you were given, right?
Yeah.
So if we look at your screen, the value, the collateral is the guarantee you gave, and it's 82 stacks.
Yeah.
Which value varies according to the price of stacks, right?
Yes.
So how many times is it? So it's saying it's 337?
37%, yeah.
Okay. So the value of stacks has been going down a little bit since last week. So it's a bit volatile. But still your guarantee is much greater than the loan that was given to you by, 337%. And so the idea is that the guarantee is a yielding asset. So it's paying a yield that comes into play because, and since it's 4 times the value, or 3 times in this case, it's going to repay the interest rate that you need to pay on the loan amount, 44 USDA. Okay?
Yeah.
Is that something that's clear? So let's say, I don't know, let's say, I think we went to stacking.club and we had a look at the current yield. I think it's 10% APY. So you're getting 10% of APY on the guarantee, and that value is 3 times more than the stability fee or the interest rate that you're paying on the loan amount, which is 3 times less, so 4%. So 4%, let's say it's 4 times. So if you were paying 4 times on the 4% on the on the loan, but your guarantee is 4 times more.
4 times more, yeah.
So you essentially paying 1%. 1%, so it's 4 times less, let's say, and then so you're receiving 10% on one end and you're paying 1% on the other end, 4 times less than 4%. So there's a margin of 9% that goes back to repay the principal of the loan. You got that?
Yeah.
And
that's
then
clearer than last week.
yeah, and then through time, your loan is being repaid automatically. Okay. So that was the first point. Now we can switch to the second point, yield farming. So it's going to be available, I think, next week or within a few days. But what is yield farming? Just like really quickly, if you can explain what's the concept in 1 or 2 sentences, and that's it. From what you understood from that video.
Yeah, more like maximizing profits by moving your investment from a less profitable venture into a more profitable venture. Sounds more like it's moving from one protocol to the other.
I think yes, they're talking about going to the most profitable of places or pools, moving from one to the other. But the basic concept of what is farming actually is it that you're providing liquidity in a liquidity pool for anybody to be able to swap a currency for another, right? So you have folks that want, for example, to sell Bitcoin and get a US dollar stable coin in exchange for their Bitcoin. And so they would be able to do it in a decentralized fashion through these liquidity pools. And you as a liquidity provider, you would give, for example, now you have USDA, and let's say you had a Bitcoin or another asset like stacks, you would provide both assets to a pool, and then basically there's a mechanism, a software that is written on the blockchain, and anybody could come and exchange, their Bitcoin for the stable coin. And you as a liquidity provider, you would facilitate that exchange, and you would get a small percentage fee of that transaction. So you have your two tokens in a way, and you're facilitating an exchange, and you're getting to a software that use your liquidity, a decentralized software, and then you're getting a yield or a commission, a percentage of the commission, right? And on top of that, there are some protocols like Arcadico that are opening a stake in their protocol, and they're rewarding the first adopters with a stake for the liquidity providers that are early liquidity providers. Make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so and then I think last week we saw an example of so this would be yield farming. So some liquidity pools would be more profitable than others, okay? Especially when the protocol is giving away a share, let's say, of the tokens, of the governance tokens. And then I think I just want to mention another use case that we didn't have in our plan right now, but we had a use case last week about Bitcoin yielding Bitcoin. Remember that?
Yeah, you said something about that last week. Bitcoin yielding Bitcoin. Because here at Arcadico, we were using stacks, and then you said it was kind of possible to use Bitcoin to get stable coins, and from the stable coins, at the end of the day, we could get back to Bitcoin.
Yeah. So maybe let's just have a look at this use case, even though we didn't have that into play, and then we can talk about NFTs. Okay. Just to make sure that we have this understood. Let me share. Maybe can you go to stacking.club/learn?
/
Yeah. Okay. So this, you remember, so maybe we can talk about this just really quickly so that we make sure we understand this. Stacking, what is stacking? So maybe you can read and comment wherever you don't understand or you want us to discuss, because I'm also a student here.
Okay. Okay, then reading, Lucky Stacks.
I know you're a little bit tired, so relax, chillax.
Okay.
Breathe. It will be short. It's 10:47. We'll discuss about this, and then we'll discuss about Tasha's experiment of a destroyed diamond.
Stacking is locking your stacks temporarily to support the blockchain's security and consensus mechanism. As a reward, you earn Bitcoin that miners transfer to you as part of proof of transfer mining. Just like how miners run mining software to support the Bitcoin blockchain and NBTC, you can support the Stacks blockchain and NBTC just by buying and locking up stack tokens. Okay, then if I remember this very well, that was like the very first session we had. Locking up your stacks is like giving up your stacks, and in return, you get stable coins.
All right, that's creating a vault with Arcadico, right? You would be. I know that Arcadico offers the stacking option when you create this over collateralized loan that we talked about. With you lock your stack, you're right. You lock your stack, and then they give you a stable coin which is 4 times less the value of your guarantee in stacks. And we talked about that. And then we talked about Arcadico offering this option to stack your stacks, which are already locked with them, but they would lock it with the protocol, with proof of transfer. And then if they do that, they essentially stack your stacks. And by stacking your stacks, it's a lot of stack in the sentence.
Stack your stacks.
The protocol pays your stack, your stacks a yield,
Yeah.
which is currently 10% APY. And since your value of your stack is 4 times the value of your guarantee, you're getting 10% on one end. You're being paid for stacking your stacks on one end. And on the other end, you have to pay interest rate for your loan, USDA, which is 4 times less your guarantee. So if you're paying 4% and you want to compare the two, it's actually 4 times less. So it's 1%. So you end up with a residue, positive one, of 9%, which repays your loan. And you end up having a self-repaying loan. Exactly. So they're using this stacking feature for the loan to be able to repay itself. So now we're discussing about what is this stacking feature, right? You follow?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, because I'm just repeating the same thing. So this stacking feature is locking your stacks through the proof of transfer consensus mechanism, is what they're writing here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And there's a threshold. You can lock these stacks on your own, but there's a threshold, and you can lock these stacks with a pool. So why are they paying you a yield when you are locking your stacks?
Okay. So I guess maybe I would say because you are providing a service, probably a liquidity provider, you are adding to the pool.
Yeah. And who's paying? And where's the money coming from? If you scroll down a little bit, if you scroll down,
probably come from yields on.
I think they talk about proof of transfer. Okay. So what is proof of transfer? What is it?
The proof of transfer is a new consensus mechanism designed for the Stacks blockchain that uses the security of the Bitcoin blockchain's proof of work system by requiring miners to spend BTC in order to win the block reward for a Stacks block. The winning miner is selected randomly, with their chance of winning the block being proportional to the amount of BTC that they spend. The following visual demonstrates how the winning miner is selected. The chance of each miner winning the block is proportional to the amount of BTC that they have spent compared to the other miners.
What is this all this shabia about? So let me ask it in a different way. What is a consensus mechanism in a blockchain? And do you know any other names of consensus mechanism for other blockchains?
Other blockchains.
So Stacks is a blockchain, right?
Yes.
Do you know another blockchain or several other blockchains?
I would say so Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is a blockchain, right?
Yeah.
So so they all have a consensus mechanism. What is this for? What is this consensus mechanism for?
Consensus mechanism, it's more like a digital agreement that's executed based on contract or agreement between involved parties.
Yeah, so consensus is reaching an agreement. You're right. So agreement between whom and agreement about what? So I'll help you a little bit because breathe. It's going to be chillax. So it's in a blockchain you have different stakeholders. So you have these folks that are called miners in Bitcoin, for example, miners. So the role of the miners, you have these miners, and you have a database that is distributed, that all these miners agree. They all agree on the state of this. They call it a ledger. I don't know why. Somebody can explain, but it's basically a database that is distributed among them. They all have like an Excel spreadsheet, let's say. Okay, so that's our database, and they all share the same information. They all agree that you right now have deposited 88 stacks in a vault, and that you were issued 44 USDA in exchange for that guarantee. And all of them, they agree on that. They all say, yeah, that's true. Okay. And so this, I think, have you heard of, I think it's the Byzantine general or something. What is it called? Byzantine general problem. Have you heard of the Byzantine general's problem?
No.
So, but basically, it's a method for all of them to secure in an agreement without a central party being the judge of this agreement, and also making sure that all these nodes or miners, all these participants in this blockchain, in this database, they all can reach the agreement that you have this amount in your wallet and you're not cheating. Nobody is cheating. Nobody is double spending the money in a way. Nobody is issuing a good and then selling it twice, for example. So without the need of a central party, this blockchain is solving the problem of, okay, we can reach an agreement, a consensus. We can all, through this method, we don't need a central party to verify and to be the judge of what and who has what. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to explain in my own terms, so it's not very technical. It's not. But basically, so there's a set of rules, okay, that they call a protocol, a way for these participants that share a database to reach an agreement on the state of this database. They all agree on that state, okay? And so that's what the consensus mechanism is about. Is about being able to reach a consensus without the need of a central party. And they do that using, for example, in Bitcoin, there are spending electricity for a chance to win a block and a Bitcoin reward with plus transactions. And then they use this, and then the winner, they write the new state of the database, the new, and then that's the new consensus, and everybody agrees on that. So they're spending electricity in the case of Bitcoin. And in the case of Stacks, which is also a blockchain, which also has a consensus mechanism, in Bitcoin it's called proof of work. They use electricity, and in Stacks it's called proof of transfer. And instead of electricity, the miners are spending a Bitcoin, which can be viewed as a digital energy instead of just energy, for a chance to win a reward in Stacks, plus fees. And well, this Bitcoin that is being spent, is actually being sent to stackers. And that's how stackers are being paid this yield, this Bitcoin yield.
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
So, and I don't know if someone can explain why by locking your stacks, you are contributing to also to, in a minor way, you are contributing to this consensus mechanism and the security of this consensus mechanism. But that's what they that's the promise, that when you lock your stacks, you're receiving, you're participating in this consensus mechanism, and you're receiving a yield that is coming from the proceeds of the miners spending these Bitcoins. Okay. Sorry, it's a bit boring, but right?
Yeah.
But maybe, you know, maybe if you want to understand why, you know, this this consensus mechanism works, it's pretty, if you have to go into more details probably, you know, how this Byzantine general's problem is solving, you know, this this problem. Can we switch maybe to NFTs? But
Okay.
but you got the point, right?
I would go over the video again, and I would see. Yeah, but more or less the idea is there. I would just probably need to work on it and let it stick.
Yeah. So do you want to continue discussing this, or do you have a question, or do you want to switch to
I think we'll shift to NFTs. I think was a really interesting read by Tasha. I think I would like to discuss that.
Actually, one great way to understand what's going on is actually to test yourself, like maybe we could do next week, we could look at how proof of transfer light works with Miami coin, because they're using this consensus mechanism as well, and we could try, you could try to mine Miami coin, or at least understand it. Have you heard of Miami coin? It's a whole chapter. Maybe we can do this next week. Okay.
Okay.
Then let's have a look at Tasha's, because I know it's difficult to understand something in theory, and it really becomes really clear when you're actually trying yourself, and like the vault, you know, you see that you're sending a guarantee, you're getting a reward, and you'll see through time, you know, how this unfolds, and by, you know, having a first-hand experience, you'll probably have a better understanding of what's going on. But just so you know, the self-paying loan is actually a consequence of this stacking feature that is thanks to this novel consensus mechanism of stacks that allows you to stack your stacks and get a Bitcoin yield. And then we discussed last week about, you know, another use case where you could post Bitcoin as a collateral, get USDA as a loan, buy stacks, stack your stacks, and get a yield in Bitcoin. So you essentially hold on to your Bitcoin and get a yield in Bitcoin. But forget about it. It takes time to, and also having your hands dirty will make it easier to understand. Okay, let's have a look just like casually at Tasha's blog post. I think she's having a conversation with her mom about this destroyed diamond NFT experience.
Yeah.
So could you share, like, maybe the you want me to send you the link? It's tashalabs.com, I think.
Okay. Send the link from here to the system. Okay.
You want me to share? It's better if you
I'm
share, I think.
almost,
Yeah.
okay, almost there. It's taking so much time.
Let me share with you the link.
Okay, I think I found it.
Awesome. So tell us about the experiment, or maybe you know, this conversation between Tasha's mom and her. Was it compelling? What did you understand about all of this?
Okay, the most important thing for me is because I do opera, the mom was more important in the choir for in going for her choir rehearsals. But okay, back to the business. Here she's been getting this info on transferring the value of a physical quantity into a digital quantity, a commodity, for a while, and she decided to give it a try. So she ordered a diamond that cost $5,000, I think, more or less, 499, and she destroyed the diamond physically, but in so doing, she kind of converted it to a non-fungible token, an NFT, because the physical diamond is no longer there, but the asset value of the diamond is now transferred to the NFT she has created, more like a digital asset. And then she was trying to explain to her mom that this is a better store of value than having physical quantities, and it's time consuming and effort consuming to have physical quantities, physical store of values. And then the mom went ahead asking question of what about commodities such as buildings and cars? Would you have to destroy the car just like you destroyed the diamond? Yeah, yeah, I had that in mind also.
All right. So a few questions before we kind of like rewind or whatever. How does she destroy the diamond? Do you know? Because the diamond is really difficult to destroy.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly. Because I've learned all my life that diamonds are like one of the hardest substances on the planet. So how did she do that?
Yeah, so she actually she has a YouTube channel, and she tries destroying it with a hammer. It actually destroys the hammer
Of course.
rather than the diamond. And I think she goes to a repair shop, like auto repair shop, where they have these this machine to destroy the cars, and that's how she's able to destroy the diamond. So yeah, she buys the diamond for $5,000. She destroys the diamond, takes a picture of the diamond before she destroys it, and then puts it on sale on an NFT marketplace, and to prove a point, to prove that she's able to transfer what she calls the store of value part of the diamond value to the NFT. And she ends up being able to sell it, and I think it was resold for, I don't know how many times the price. But if we rewind a little bit, how does she define the value of the diamond itself?
She defined in I think in three ways.
I think if you scroll down,
it's somewhere down there.
Right here, yeah. A diamond has two functions, I think, yeah.
Real world utility as a jewelry and an industrial tool. It has a use and a store of value.
Okay, I think there's also another blog where she talks about more features to the price. And just from the top of my head, the liquidity aspect of an asset is also comes into play into the value of that asset, but limited to yeah. So just the diamond itself, not the NFT. The diamond has two functions. She says the utility as a jewelry. It can be a jewelry, and she says it can be an industrial tool, because diamonds are being used in factories to cut really hard
other things. Yeah.
Right. And then the second part is the store of value assets. So, okay, so do you understand these two these two kind of like components of the value of a diamond?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Okay.
For the utility aspect, it's something that it's useful.
Voila.
So for the fact that it's useful or it has a function, then there's a particular amount or will I say value attached to it just for the reason of it having a use.
Ouais,
Then
exactement.
for this, yeah.
Right. So can you give me examples of goods and their utilities? Like any good. For example, a bag, a Louis Vuitton bag, okay, has the utility of, you know, carrying the keys, the wallet,
And other
the
stuff.
rouge à lèvres, the all those things that women carry in their bags. That's the
Yeah.
utility, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it
Fashion
also,
as well.
but a Louis Vuitton or like a, you know, like a fashion bag is probably very expensive, you know, and it's probably very expensive not because of the utility of it, because I could buy a plastic bag, it would have the same utility, it would cost me 10 cents, right? Yeah. And but the perceived value is much higher, okay? So sometimes you buy a good because, and the brand gives the status value to the purchaser, brand. And that's what you're buying more than the utility, right?
Yeah, most times they buy the brand name and not the utility.
Right. So then, okay, so utility. Give me another example. So we understand utility, and then store of value. What's that?
Okay, store of value. It really does not depreciate with time. At every moment, it has the same value.
Oh, so give me an example of assets that are used, or that is used for the purpose of storing value.
Gold.
Huh?
Very good word. Gold.
Gold, right?
Yeah.
Real estate.
Yeah, real estate. Yeah.
If you buy a home, you know, even if there's a crisis, you know, everybody needs a roof somehow, and if the supply of homes is limited, you know, it's going to be in high demand.
High demand, yeah.
But if they build lots of high-rise buildings, like in Barcelona in the, I don't remember what year, where there was a boom, real estate boom, the price of real estate went up a lot, and then there was a crash because there was so much
more supply than demand.
Right. Okay, so store of value. Yeah. The value doesn't like stay stable through time, like resists the time test, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, let's follow a little bit her explanations, her explanation maybe. Then mm-hmm. She pretends that she would be able to basically transfer the store of value.
Part of
right, so a diamond has a store of value because its price doesn't go down, so it persists through time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, continue.
Okay. So in this situation, she was looking at probably transferring the second part of the value of the diamond, which is the store as a store of value.
Wait, can she transfer the first part, like the utility part, to an NFT?
Transfer the utility. If she's transferring the utility, it means the NFT serves the same purpose as the diamond. So I think no.
Well, can you maybe take a picture of the diamond and then print it and then put it on your ear? Or on a necklace? Right, it's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Or yeah, it's a digital asset, so you probably cannot you cannot use a digital asset in a factory as a diamond that cuts, you know, these labor diamonds, industrial tool.
It could be a new fashion trend. Who knows?
All right, so okay, so and why does she decide to destroy the diamond?
Because having the physical diamond is more like having the same, how would I say this? Having the same value in two places. For
Voilà,
one to
voilà,
exist,
voilà.
the other has to go away.
Oui, c'est ça, c'est exactement ça. Bien joué, bien joué, bien joué. Well played, well played. That's exactly why. She destroyed the diamond because she's trying to make a point that she can transfer that store value part of the diamond to the NFT. If the diamond persists, then that store value would be in both places at the same time. It would be quantic physics, and she doesn't want that. She's destroying that. Let's see if it still persists here in the NFT. And I'm going to sell it, and let's see if people perceive that store value of the NFT, of the digital representation. And okay.
But it's really, really crazy. I still don't get how all of a sudden the store value is transferred from the diamond itself to something that is not the diamond. It's really
I have another. Yeah, I have another question for you. Point number one. You see, I think, is there a way for her to evaluate the utility price of her diamond? Does she talk about this?
I think she did something. Utility price. There was a way she did the calculation somewhere. I don't think it's on this.
Yeah.
Not on this link. I read that somewhere else. I think I read that even before coming across this link.
Yes. So
I can't
exactly,
remember how she did that.
she's got another link somewhere.
Yeah.
On her blog. Let's see if you click on writings. So I think she takes the price of the labor diamond, the equivalent of a labor diamond that is the same size, similar to her jewelry diamond. And she explains that labor diamond can be manufactured on demand. So they're not in limited supply. And therefore they don't have that store of value.
They don't have the store
function
value,
because they can be created, supply-less, limitless. And so I think she knows that on the market these manufactured diamond are worth, I don't remember, but 1,500, and so she deducts that from the price of the jewelry diamond to deduce the store of value of that diamond, which I think, maybe this other article is better to have a look at. But yeah, you got the point?
Yeah, but that makes sense. But in the situation where we're using, for example, a house, how then do you quantify the physical, the utility value of a house or something like a car? How do you do that?
Oh, she talks about this in this blog. She's saying that if you scroll down a little bit, she talks about it. So instead of destroying the house, we would have to agree that the house itself could not be posted as collateral, as guarantee, wouldn't have that store of value features that it has today, but that it would be.
Okay, I think she said we could mortgage the house, something.
Exactly. Where did you see where she talked about this somewhere?
Okay, the word has the amount and houses assets already.
I think she makes it very clear somewhere that the NFT would not only be a deed, which is just a record keeping of who owns the house, but it will also represent the store of value. Meaning that if you have to put it on a balance sheet, if you have to post it as a collateral, it's the person who owns the NFT and not the house. So
I found it.
Exactly. Let's read what she says.
Their way, destroying the diamond is a radical way to enforce the asset value transfer. In most cases, you don't have to. There are ways to establish one-to-one mapping between an NFT and a real-world asset like a house. What you need is to make sure the physical house is no longer permitted to keep the role as an asset, e.g., use as collateral after you mint the NFT.
Right. Exactly. it's a radical way to enforce the asset value transfer. But we just have to agree on that. Just like we agree that you can be the owner of a house without having to inhabit the house, without having to, and so you can have other people live in the house. So these people would rent the house. All of this already exists. I can be the owner of a house and have people rent my house, and therefore, since I'm the owner, I can receive the proceeds from the utility, which is they can enjoy being in the house. But then if if there's tax, if there's all of has to do with the price appreciation of the house, I am the owner, so I'm the one responsible, and also I'm the one who's going to benefit from all of that. So it's just as she's saying, separating the two already exists. I mean, that's what I am saying, but she's saying in this case the NFT would not only be like a deed, like I think she writes it somewhere, but it will also represent the store of value. So you would be posting the like collateral, using it as collateral, as guarantee, etc., etc. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's a good introduction, and so there's something I think that people still don't understand, because they say, for example, in the case of an NFT, I take a picture of the diamond, but then I can take another picture of the diamond, and then I can sell it twice or something. I can create as many pictures of the diamond. But the problem is, if you take lots of pictures of the diamond, it's just an agreement. Like, your fake picture of the diamond will not give you the rights that the real one, the NFT that is verifiable, that is limited, it's only that one that everybody actually can verify on the blockchain. There's no central party. It's very difficult to cheat, to actually have two of the same, like a duplicate, would not give you the same rights. You can take a picture of my deed, you can take a picture of my deed, but I'm still the owner of this house. You understand? Because in this case, there's a central party that maintains a database and is saying, you, Emmanuel, you own this house in Nigeria and nobody else. So somebody else can take a picture of that piece of paper that says that, but there's a central party in this case that says, no, in my records, that's Emmanuel, right? So same thing applies here, that, yeah, you can take a picture of the diamonds 10 times, but you won't be able to sell it 10 times. Why? Because there's only one, and in this case, it's not a central party that, right?
Only one is recognized, and I think
voila. The blockchain is the layer of truth. You cannot trick the blockchain and take 1,000 pictures of the same. It will only recognize one, and that one will give you all these rights. That if the price appreciates, you are the one who benefits. If the ownership of this particular NFT gives you some benefits, that you're part of a club, that you get access to a discount, to a certain experience for a company, that other types of utility that could be is attached to that NFT. Well, only the one owner of that NFT will benefit, not the ones that are just taking a picture and making a fake.
Yeah. And he actually said something like, most NFTs are digital native assets anyway. Supply limit is code enforced, e.g. CryptoPunks issue 10,000 NFTs and each identified by a unique punk image. So,
yeah, exactly. So there's this completely magic property of these NFTs, of these tokens that are unique. Each one is unique and not interchangeable. Each one has a different value, even though they can all be part of the same collection. In this example, CryptoPunks, there's only 10,000 of them. You can create a copy, you won't have all the rights, nobody will buy it because it will be worthless. So all of a sudden in the internet, everything was limitless. And then all of a sudden, thanks to the blockchain and the NFT, it becomes limited all of a sudden again. And that's kind of like magic. That's the thing that most people don't understand yet, that this is replicating almost the properties of the real world, where usually, life is limited, amount of gold is limited. There's only so many houses you can live in, experiences you can have. You and I, we can try to have there's only the present, right?
Yeah.
So this is pretty magic, because all of a sudden the internet is gaining this feature of being able to be limited again, that you can create fakes, but these are worthless.
Yeah.
The ones that are worth are the ones that are limited.
Yeah, more like the natural diamond and the lab-grown diamond.
Voilà, exactement. The labor diamonds are less valuable because you can manufacture them on demand.
Yeah.
All right, I think we had a good introduction to all of this, and we obviously did more than 30 minutes.
Yeah, and this was really practical compared to talking about blockchains, stacks.
Right. So I think a good way to approach this next week is maybe we'll have a look at Miami Coin. What is Miami Coin, and maybe how mining and stacking works on Miami Coin. So just to conclude, we're having a NFT election every week. You can vote for the NFT of the week. The stacks community is kind enough to donate one of their NFT, be it an artist or a community member. By the way, NFTs are enabling all of these artists to finally making a much more decent living than before. In the previous, in Web 2.0, they're cutting the middleman, and they're able to have a relationship directly with the fans, and you can support one of the NFT artists, So, but anyways, so you can donate an NFT, and we vote for NFT of the week. We've already voted for 3 of them. Huge thank you to the people who've donated, the NFT artists out there. And then we're doing an auction of the last piece NFT. I know that Megapont has donated one of them and is willing to help. So huge gratitude for that. And then what else? I'm still running. So far, it's been a bit tough. It's not so. And Emmanuel is studying as hell. So we're doing this on top of our schedules. And so donate your NFT, vote for the NFT of the week. We still have 3 NFTs to be elected, and we'll do an auction also. The auction at the end. All these NFTs are either elected or sent to Emmanuel. We also, I think, we have a Phrygian who offered to sell his NFT in Bitcoin. That's a great use case, to be able to sell your NFT directly in Bitcoin. So I'm really excited about this. Let's see if he's able to sell his NFT. His NFT is the one that he bought, which proceeds were given to Divya in the first fundraising campaign. So what else do we have? So yeah, you can sell your NFT. If you make a profit, you can donate to Emmanuel as well if you want. And yeah, that's about it. And next week, let's maybe have a look at Miami Coin and what's going on with City Coins. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Do you have some type of conclusion, or do you want to share something about you before we leave this unique, non-fungible moment?
Something about me? Okay.
Or about this, about how do you feel?
As usual, when I'm learning something new, I always feel like it's difficult, but I go ahead with it and develop an interest, and then it becomes part of me. So I hope with time I'll get to understand the whole of this and probably explain it to some other person.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the goal. I'm trying to also understand myself why all of this sounds magic, but it's not. It's actually new, but it will become, as she says, that she has a quote, Tasha, somewhere, that, yeah, it can be speculation to try and guess which collection of NFT is going to moon, but she's also saying that.
That's somewhere. Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's all a speculation.
I'm going to be mom and you're going to be Tasha. And let's yeah. Maybe start with store of value is going digital. Okay. You're Tasha and I'm mom.
Okay. Store of value is going digital. NFT is a general purpose technology that makes it happen. Many innovations will be built on top, which collectively overhaul the concept of assets as we know it.
It's all a speculation, honey.
It's not. If I tell you which NFT will moon next month, that'd be speculation. But the long-term trend of digital replacing physical stuff as assets is clear. No investor can afford not to see this.
All right. I know you'd fight tooth and nail to have the last word. Can we talk about my choir rehearsal instead?
I think I will say yes to this.
Okay.
Results are much easier.
No, but I wanted the quote that you highlighted that made you laugh somewhere. Remember about the horse? Just to finish with that, saying that cars, what was it?
I can't remember that.
Saying the world doesn't need NFT is like saying the world doesn't need cars because it already has horses.
Horses. That was really funny.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's call it a day. And yeah, next week, let's see if I'm going to send you maybe a few stacks for next week, and maybe you can maybe log them with a Miami coin, maybe buy Miami coin somehow, and then maybe log them and try to understand or look at how the mining proof of transfer light on Miami coin works. Okay. All right. Awesome.
Merci. The week after.
What?
The week after, I will be singing at my university Ghost Talent program. So
oh, really?
Yeah.
So you want to change the date?
No, it's fine. It's going to be within the week on a Wednesday, so I think it's fine.
Awesome. Are they going to film?
Yeah, it's going to be.
Oh, you should share. You should share that. Let's share that with the Stacks community if they want to see you sing, because you're a singer.
Yeah, opera.
Exactly. Awesome. I'm looking forward to that. All right. That's it for us today. Merci beaucoup. Et surtout, quoi qu'il arrive,
garde ta flamme intact.
Voilà. Merci Manu. Tchuss, à la semaine prochaine. Merci. Et bonne chance pour la chorale.
Merci.
Partage avec moi le lien.